Hit start. I don't know. Okay, I can hear me. Cool. Ollie, what's good? Alright. Ooh, no, that's too bright. Okay. 3, 2. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of Quran in English. My name is Ahmed, and I'm happy to take you through the next section of Chapter 26, Surat Ash-Shu'ara, the chapter of the poets, where we continue with story time, and we kind of go over a lot of the stories. And this specific episode is going to be a challenging one, because the content is difficult, for me at least. But before I get into it, let me explain what I'm doing here. I'm here to learn about the Quran. I know Arabic, but I have not studied the Quran beyond school. In fact, this is my first read through a lot of the Quran. And I am going to try and read it myself, which means I am going to make mistakes. Which, if that bothers you, then please stop watching now. You do not have to watch this. I'm trying to improve my ability to read, in which case it means I have to make more mistakes. Assalamu alaikum, or should I say it in the opposite order? No, that was perfect. Denial. Wa alaikum assalam. The response is in opposite order. Wa alaikum assalam is what we say. Assalamu alaikum is correct. Absolutely, 100%. But yeah, let me finish the intro for this video because I'm recording for YouTube too. The point being is that I'm here to learn about the Quran. I know I had come from a Muslim background, but I walked away from religion for about 15 years, and I'm rediscovering it with fresh eyes. I'm trying to improve my readability, so I'm trying to learn how to read at the same time, which means I'm going to make mistakes. And if you don't like mistakes, then this is not the channel for you. Yeah, but this is an educational channel, so if you have a different perspective, please feel free to let me know. And if I have a different perspective, I will let you know. Yeah, for the love of the Quran. Okay, and today's verses are going to be very difficult. Not going to bother you. Hope you'll have a wonderful week. Feel free to bother me, Danal. I appreciate having you here. I appreciate you saying Assalamu alaikum. That was very nice, very kind of you. And if you have any questions, I'd love to hear your perspective as well. It's always really nice to diversify opinions. But back to the Quran. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. And off we go. I also, just for reference, I reviewed these a few days ago. And I was going to read it, but I just didn't have the time. So I'm reading it now, kind of with fresh eyes, sort of. So, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, Bismillah. قالوا أنؤمن لك واتبعك الأرذلون. So this is the Noah, I think they're talking about, I believe. Yeah, their brother Noah said to them, "Will you not fear Allah?" They said, "I am trustworthy messenger, fear God and obey me." وَأَطِيعُونِي, which is where I'm kind of still figuring out how best to handle that, considering my ego. وَمَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ أَجْرٍ. Yeah, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونِي. Yeah, so he said, "I don't ask for you any payment. My reward is only from the Lord of the worlds, God of everything. So fear God and pay me." And then the first thing they said is, they said, "Should we believe in you while the lowest of the low have followed you?" And they've made this kind of comparison to him. The pagans are accusing the impoverished believers following Noah. And you see this time and time again in religion. A lot of times people say religion is an opioid for the masses, or opioid for the weak or the simple, or a shelter for the weak. There's an expression, I've forgotten it. And that's very much it. God speaks to the justice that you may not find in this world. And therefore, those who have not had the best hand of things and not had the best of luck can take solace in trusting in God. But then what ends up happening is those who have wealth and power and strength, they go, "Oh, the weakest of the weak are following you, so what you're selling must be weak." That's their argument, but it's kind of it's stupid. It's not recognizing that the strong protect the weak, not discard the weak. But yeah. قال وما علمي بما كانوا يعملون. He said, and what do I know about what they used to do? Oh, that's interesting. That's a very nice way of responding. The weakest of the weak. Yeah, just saying, what do I know what they have to do? And then it continues by saying, إن حسابهم إلا على ربي لو تشعرون. Indeed, their account, their reckoning, what they will get, what they won't get, what all the above, will be except with God, my God, all of our gods. Noah's God, our God, your God, my God. Well, those that believe. If only you perceive, if only, yeah, perceive is the correct word. They've translated it loosely to if you had any sense, but perceive, like it gives a feeling of if only you felt what was real. And there is an element of the heart seeing. We've seen this in the Quran mentioned multiple times. The eyes, the ears, and the heart. Those are the three senses, and this feels like it's a heart sense. It's a feeling, so to speak. And the Quran does call for sense quite a lot, and intellect and reflection, but here it's perception, feeling. وَمَا أَنَا بِطَارِدِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And I will not be expelling the believers. I'm not going to kick out anybody who believes. I'm not going to kick them out. You say that they're weak, but I'm not going to. If they're believers, they're with me. You know what I mean? And therein ties the unity and ties the fairness into life. Sometimes we go, oh, life's not fair. Some people have more money. Some people have more power. Some people have more blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to faith, everybody has the same opportunity to believe and not to believe. And that's the only difference that it makes. You get into the club by believing. You don't get into the club by not believing. It is entirely up to you. With some nuance, of course. But it is kind of very humbling. It makes every man equal. You are measured by your belief, not by your strength, your intelligence, your gifts, your attributes. إن أنا إلا نذير مبين. Indeed, I'm nothing but a warner that is clear. I'm nothing but a clear warner. I'm here to give you the message. I'm here to give you the warning. It's up to you what you do with it. قالوا لئن لم تنتهي يا نوح لتكونن من المرجومين. They said, if you are not going to stop, Noah, if you're not going to desist, then surely you will be the ones who are stoned. And it is understood stoned to death, but I don't know if the death is necessary. You're going to be stoned. They're going to throw stones at you. If you survive, you survive. I don't know how severe it was, but I would imagine stoned to death makes sense. قال ربي إن قومي كذبوني. He said, my God, Noah said, my God, indeed, my people have denied me, have rejected me, have, not accepted what I had to say. فافتح بيني وبينهم فتحا ونجيني ومن معي من المؤمنين. So my Arabic is limited because I was going to say this means opens, but apparently it translates to judge between me and between them, a decisive judgment. I think it means like kind of separate between me and them, like kind of that concept of. Yeah, I like the concept of opening because the opening indicates two sides splitting, right? And so the judgment is going to split the two sides. Say, this is me and my people, and this is them and them. And then save me and those who are with me from the believers. Separate me from them and save me and the believers. فَأَنْجَيْنَاهُ وَمَنْ مَعَهُ فِي الْفُلْكِ الْمَشْحُونَ. So we saved him and who was with him in the ship that was fully loaded, that was laden, I guess is the term. It's a full ship, the Ark, which we called Noah's Ark. We know Noah was saved by the ark because of the flood. Oh, here comes the flood. ثم أغرقنا بعد الباقين. Then we drowned thereafter all the ones that remained. إن في ذلك لآية وما كان أكثرهم مؤمنين. It's getting to the point where I'm tired where I read a word and I'm like, did I read it right? I think I did. Indeed, in that is a sign, there is a sign. But for me, the sign is about the Noah's son drowning. But the Quran is kind of ever-living, and it speaks to you quite a lot all throughout the time. So, like, sometimes you learn a lot of lessons afterwards as well. But most of them are not believers. وَإِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الرَّحِيمُ. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, are we going? No. I'm struggling because I want to kill the moth, but I don't want to kill the moth because I'm reading Quran. وَإِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الرَّحِيمُ. And indeed, your Lord is the Almighty and the most merciful. We've seen this several times in this chapter. It seems to be a recurring theme throughout this chapter. Mighty, yet merciful. And in this story of Noah, you see both God's might and his mercy. His mercy was placed upon Noah and the believers, and his might was placed upon those who did not believe. And then we get a new story. كذبت عاد المرسلين. كذبت عاد المرسلين. كذبت عاد المرسلين. The people of Ad, the Ad denied the messengers. Yeah, it doesn't really say the people, but like it's understood when it's like Paris denied Muslims, for example. You understand that it's not about the city, but it's about the inhabitants of the city. So that's why. So the people of Ad denied the messengers. إذ قال لهم أخوهم هود ألا تتقون. When said to them their brother Hud said to them, will you not be mindful? Again, not the word for fear, wrong word. Will you not be mindful? Taqwa. Keep something in mind. Because it is dangerous, there is an element of, not anxiety, but like you have to be conscious because this thing can hurt you. You have to be mindful. إني لكم رسول أمين. Indeed, I am to you a messenger that is trustworthy. فاتقوا الله وطيعون. So, be mindful of God and obey me. Why are the messengers saying, obey me? This is kind of, it's sending me into a loop. I also don't know if I want to share the personal anecdote of why this is sending me into a loop, but the concept of domination and subservience when it comes to human relationships, when one person says to another, obey me, my ego struggles. I don't like being told what to do. But it's kind of crazy because I tell everybody what to do. So, like, I don't tell everybody what to do, but like, anyway. So be mindful of God and obey me. Yeah, I'm still struggling with the idea of obeying. I mean, we have to obey the messengers, right? That's the whole point. But there's something that I struggle with when it comes to it. وَمَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ أَجْرٍ إِنْ أَجْرِيَ إِلَّا عَلَى رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. And I do not ask for you for any payment. Do not ask for any reward for this payment. It's always fun and weird. So I don't ask for you to obey me. Just pay. It's just such a strange concept. Indeed, my payment is except with God of the worlds, the Lord of the worlds. Because Rabb, the word is Lord, like Rabb al-Bayt is the Lord of the house. The Lord as in the person who presides over. So this is Lord of the worlds is another term for God. أتبنون بكل ريع آية تعبثون. Do you construct on every elevation a sign amusing yourself? Yeah, so vanity is kind of the idea. Kind of sounds like modern day Middle East. Building on every level, but they're not like building on levels of like different planes. They're building on who can go higher and who can go more up. But anyway, it's saying, will you build a landmark in every high place in vanity? This is kind of what the lesson that he's giving to them. What was the lesson that Noah gave to his people? The lesson that Noah gave to his people is that they should believe. And the reason why I say that is because we're going to come across a specific messenger that has a specific lesson that I'm still not sure about. Anyway. Yeah, so the people of Ad denied Hud. Yeah, Ad and Hud. People of Ad denied Hud, and he said, are you building are you building landmarks in every place in vanity? وتتخذون مصانع لعلكم تخلدون وتتخذون مصانع لعلكم تخلدون. And you take for yourself strongholds, so they translate it to construct castles. Stronghold is a probably more accurate term, but they construct strongholds so that you may live forever. So there is a sense of hubris, a sense of arrogance that comes with the people of Ad. They want to like build in different places, kind of be strong, be big, and yeah, they do kind of want to achieve immortality in a way. وإذا بطشتم جبارين. And when you seize or you attack or you pillage, you seize and attack like as tyrants. I always thought Jabbar was a good word, but apparently it's like, yeah, tyrant is like extreme, unforgiving. So when you attack others without any mercy. So here we do sense an element of pride and ego, and the Quran has so many lessons against being proud to the level of superiority upon others. I mean, after all, Islam does mean surrender, and surrender makes you more humble. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونَ. So be mindful of God and obey me. And it's because of the kasra at the end, the little line here, that we know that he's talking about himself and not about God. I'm trying to, like, it's just... I explained it last time, was saying that the obeying is to follow God's command and to be good people. But then, why wouldn't he say obey God? Why wouldn't any of them say obey God? Why is it obey me? I'm really struggling with this idea. It would make more sense for them to say obey God, because it's God's rules that we have to follow. But there is also an element of like people needing to follow someone. And this is why people are so vicious politically, because they pick a camp and they're like, I'm going to follow this person no matter what they say, and I'm going to follow this person no matter what they say, and my person's better than your person. Arr, arr, arr. There seems to be a consistent fight for who should we follow, rather than, I mean, even like from a religious perspective, I would think that the answer is obey God. I don't know. وَاتَّقُوا الَّذِي أَمَدَّكُمْ بِمَا تَعْلَمُونَ. And be mindful of the one who provided you with what you know. Yeah, who has aided you. Provided you is more accurate. Amaddakum technically means stretched out, like, but it kind of like gave you all the things that you wanted of what you know. Amaddakum bi an'amin wa banin. He extended you with cattle and children. Wa jannatin wa uyun. And gardens and springs of water. Inni akhafu alaykum adhaba yawmin azim. Indeed, I am afraid. Now this is the right word for afraid, not taqwa, khawf, khaf. I am afraid upon you a punishment on a day that is great. This is the correct word of the word, fear. قالوا سواء علينا أوعظت أم لم تكن من الواعظين. They said, it is the same to us whether you advise or if you were not one of the ones who were advising us. It's all the same to us whether you warn us or not. Essentially, that's what they're saying. In هذا إلا خلق الأولين. Indeed, this is nothing except the customs of the tradition of our people. We're just following the tradition of our people. Don't tell us not to follow our ancestors. Don't tell us that this is wrong. That this idea of like trying to build and be immortal and be strong, and it does really give modern day Middle East, to be honest, modern day any civilization, modern day all of these civilizations that are building and trying to prosper and trying to think that if they build and they invest in the right places and cut off all the right waste, that they're gonna survive as long as possible. Like there's this hubris in the human existence, thinking that we are untouchable because of the civilization that we have built around us, when in reality, one simple disaster and bam, things go. Like we saw how crazy things went with Corona, and that was like nothing. You can see with like earthquakes, with like hurricanes, with like snowstorms. It snowed for a week in the Netherlands, and everything shut down. The planes, the trains. It was just a little bit more worse weather than we get normally every year, and everything like the supermarkets were empty, and that's like, yeah. If there was to be real bad weather, then we would be screwed. You are not protected by the tradition of your predecessors. وَمَا نَحْنُ بِمُعَذِّبِينَ, and we will never be punished. It doesn't say we will never, but I got down. We will not be punished, and we will not be punished. And we are not punished. Will be. It never says never, but it's understood, right? فَكَذَّبُوهُ فَأَهْلَكْنَاهُمْ إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً وَمَا كَانَ أَكْثَرُهُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ. We've heard this phrase a lot this chapter. So they denied him, so we destroyed them. Indeed, in that is surely a sign, but most of them are not believers. Yeah, most of them would not believe. Cycle repeats. Every messenger, same people. And there's a specific verse in the Quran that says all the messengers were denied, but one. And you have to check out my other videos to see that. No, I could probably tell you. But Yunus, I think the whale. But this was revealed at the time of the Prophet, so still the Prophet Muhammad had followers. Anyway, also Jesus was denied. Jesus was literally killed. Moses was also denied. The Israelites denied him many times over. I do think that they follow his teachings now, but they denied him a lot at the time. So all messengers were kind of denied. Even the Prophet Muhammad was also denied until he wasn't. He was the one that kind of succeeded, so to speak, because he died in a nation of believers. Right? وَأَنَّ رَبَّكَ لَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الرَّحِيمُ. Here's that statement again. Indeed, your Lord is the Almighty and most merciful. Those who believe get mercy. Those who don't get nothing. You lose. All right, 1 second. كذبت ثمود المرسلين. Thamud denied the messengers. إذ قال لهم أخوهم صالح ألا تتقون. So we had Hud for Ad, and then Salih for Thamud. Will I be able to remember this? No, but anyway. So when it said to them, their brother Salih, will you not be mindful? إني لكم رسول أمين. Indeed, I am for you a messenger that is trustworthy. A messenger that's trustworthy. فاتقوا الله واتقوا. فاتقوا الله وأطيعون. So be mindful of God and obey me. وما أسألكم عليه من أجر إن أجري إلا على رب العالمين. And I do not ask for you any payment for it. Indeed, my payment is except with God, Lord of the worlds. With the Lord of the worlds, which also means God. أتتركون في ما هاهنا. Okay, I'm not even able to see what I'm reading anymore. أتتركون في ما هاهنا آمنين.
أتتركون فيما هاهنا آمنين.
Yeah. Right, but I just didn't understand it. Will you be left with what you are, will you be left with what is here safe? Will you be safe with what you've left here? Even in English, I'm not stringing a sentence together. We're gonna do this. It's fine. Do you think you'll be secure with what you have here? في جنات وعيون. In gardens and springs. We heard that with Ad as well. وزروع ونخل طلعها هضيم. And cornfields and date palms, it's spadix with tender fruit. Makes more sense. طلعها is what it produces. It's produce. That's the right word. Produce. What is spadix? Its produce is soft, tender fruit makes it easiest. So in Ad, we kind of saw them building many things in many different locations. In Thamud, you see more fertile lands and gardens and trees, and it's pretty interesting. وَتَنْحِتُونَ مِنَ الْجِبَالِ بُيُوتًا فَارِهِينَ. And you're carving in the mountain houses that are skillful. I was just talking about fertile gardens, and then all of a sudden we're talking about the mountains, which also makes me think of Jordan Petra, but we've talked about that before. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونَ. So be mindful of God and obey me. وَلَا تُطِيعُوا أَمْرَ الْمُسْرِفِينَ. And do not obey the command of the transgressors. I was about to say, who are the transgressors? The next version. الَّذِينَ يُفْسِدُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا يُصْلِحُونَ. The ones that spread corruption in the earth and do not make things right. Do not try and do good. They do terrible things and they don't care about what they've done. قالوا إنما أنت من المسحرين. They said, indeed, only you are from the ones who are bewitched. They're simply bewitched. ما أنت إلا بشر مثلنا فأتي بآية إن كنت من الصادقين. You are not except for a man just like us, so bring forth a sign if you are from the ones who are telling the truth. And the one thing I know about Saleh is that he had the female camel, the she-camel. She-camel sounds like a comic book name for some reason. قال هذه ناقة قال هذه ناقة لها شرب ولكم شرب يوم معلوم. He said, this is the she-camel. For her, she drinks once, and for you, you drink once on a day that is known. And the way that it was explained to me before is that they had like a spring of water, and so he was saying that you should drink from the spring once and one day, and then she drinks from the spring one day, and that you kind of alternate. She needs to have her own space. There needs to be a special way to taking care of her because she's a special camel. ولا تمسوها بسوء فيأخذكم عذاب يوم ولا تمسوها ولا تمسوها بسوء فيأخذكم عذاب يوم عظيم. We got there. And don't harm her. Don't touch her with harm, so that it will seize you the torment of, or the punishment of a day that is great. Don't harm her, or you're going to regret it. I think you've all seen where this is going. This is another messenger. He's about to get denied, and they're about to go. فَعَقَرُوهَا فَأَصْبَحُوا نَادِمِينَ. So they hamstrung her. Killed her isn't the right word. Hamstrung is correct. They made her limp. They injured her. They hurt her. They'd caused harm to the camel. So they became very regretful. And I don't think they became regretful of their own accord. They became regretful of فَأَخَذَهُمُ الْعَذَابُ إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً وَمَا كَانَ أَكْثَرَهُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ. So the punishment took them, and in that is a sign, but most of them are not believers. Seen this statement at the end of every story. وَإِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الرَّحِيمُ. And indeed your Lord is the Almighty and most merciful. And there is a poetic element to the Quran. There is a rhyming, there is a reason, there is repetition used to kind of relay the point that it is trying to get across. It is beautiful in a sense. Okay. Now, this next section. Listen, this is your warning. If you do not like different perspectives or point of views, don't continue watching. I don't feel like arguing. If you're open to discussing and negotiating, I'm happy to learn. I'm happy to exchange, but try and control if you have any anger. What am I doing? I'm giving a warning on YouTube as if anybody hears warnings. God help us all. Anyway. كذبت قوم لوط المرسلين. The people of Lut. So notice every time it said كذبت عاد, كذبت ثمود, but this time it said كذبت قوم لوط, which means the people of Lut. Now it specifically said the people of Lut, which is very interesting. I wonder why. Oh, because Lut is the name of the person, not the name of the city. That would make sense. Ad, Thamud are names of cities. Lut is the name of the messenger. So if we say كذبت لوط, no, it doesn't make sense. كذبت, yeah, the people of Lut. It would make sense. Okay. So the people of Lut denied the messengers. And we actually know there were two messengers around the time of Lut. Abraham and Lut. They both were at the same time. And they were related, I think. I don't know why I think that. But I know they knew each other at the very least. Because when the angels came to Abraham, they said, we're going to go to Lut. But anyway, as you can see, we've mentioned the keyword Lut. Therefore, controversial topics coming up. إذ قال لهم أخوهم لوط ألا تتقون. If when he said to them, their brother Lut, will you not be mindful? إني لكم رسول أمين. I am for you a messenger that is clear, that is trustworthy. Yeah. فاتقوا الله وأطيعون. So be mindful of God and obey me. وما أسألكم عليه من أجر إن أجري إلا على رب العالمين. And I do not ask for you for any payment. Indeed, my payment is only upon the Lord of the worlds. Classic, standard. We've seen this time and time again. Whew. Let me take a drink. Bismillah. أتأتون الذكران من العالمين. Do you approach the males among the worlds? We have to click this footnote. Men of the world. Okay. Do you approach the men of the worlds? وتذرون ما خلق لكم ربكم من أزواجكم بل أنتم قوم عادون. Hang on a second. And you leave what God has created for you, what your God has created for you from your mates. Nay, you are a people that are transgressing. Actually, what is it actually saying? Leaving your spouses to sleep with men. It is understood to be sexual. And the people of Lut, they had committed sexual transgressions. But the word sex was never actually said. But leaving your spouses to have sex with men. That's what has been said. Leaving your spouses, your wife, it doesn't say your wives, it says your spouses. Azwajukum could be both male or female. Because it is also understood that, for instance, the Lut's wife was also one of the transgressors. Nay, you are people that are transgressing. قالوا لئن لم تنتهي يا لوط لتكونن من المخرجين. They said, if you do not desist, O Lut, then surely you'll be the ones who are driven out, expelled, kicked out of our countries. قال إني لعملكم من القالين. No. قال إني لعملكم من القالين.
القالين.
قال إني لعملكم من القالين. I am truly one of those who despise your shameful practice. There is a lot of hatred and there is a lot of vitriol. ربي نجني وأهلي مما يعملون. Honestly, we've passed by the thing that I thought was going to be controversial, but leaving your spouses to have sex with men, kind of, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that being the problem. Astaghfirullah al-Azim. Rabbi najini wa ahli mimma ya'malun. My Lord, save me and my family from what they do. فَنَجَّيْنَاهُ وَأَهْلُهُ أَجْمَعِينَ. So we saved him and his family altogether. إِلَّا عَجُوزًا فِي الْغَابِرِينَ. Except an old woman who was among those who remained behind. And if we know from the other verse, Lut's wife, who betrayed her husband. So she also transgressed in the way that they transgressed. She would, if we listen to these verses, she would leave her husband and lust after men. Let's keep it at that. I'm just reading literally what the words are saying. There are other verses of the Quran. We will get back to the story at another stage, and we can discuss it in plentiful times then. I thought this was going to be more controversial. It's not. ثم دمرنا الآخرين. Then we destroyed the others. وأمطرنا عليهم مطرا فساء مطر المنذرين. And we rained upon them a rain. What a terrible evil was the rain of those who were warned. How evil was the rain of those who had been warned. إن في ذلك لآية وما كان أكثرهم مؤمنين. Indeed, in that is a sign, but most of them were not believers. وَإِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الرَّحِيمُ. And indeed, your Lord is surely almighty and most merciful. Al-Aziz Ar-Rahim, there should be the same, almighty and all merciful, if they're going to use the same, because it's the most merciful, like it's the same tense, Al-Aziz Ar-Rahim, the mighty, the merciful. And like the is with like a capital T, like he's the one, you know what I mean? كذب أصحاب الأيكة المرسلين.
الأيكة.
Yeah. كذب أصحاب الأيكة المرسلين. The companions of the wood denied the messengers. The residents of the forest rejected the messengers. إذ قال لهم شعيب ألا تتقون. Shu'aib was for the tree people. Said to them, will you not be mindful? What is this? Unlike other prophets in the surah who are identified as, they're not prophets, they're messengers. It said the word messengers many, many, many times. Did not use the words prophet. He used the words messengers. The story is about messengers. Unlike the messengers in the surah who are identified as the brothers of the fellow tribesmen, Shu'aib is not identified as the brother of the people of the Aika, which is the name of the forest where people used to worship a particular tree because they are identified by faith rather than by tribal connection. Maybe. The companions of the wood. Maybe he's not a part of them. Oh, it doesn't say their brother. Oh, that's what's different. They said Saleh, their brother Saleh, their brother Noah, their brother Lut, but they didn't say their brother Shu'aib. Interesting observation. Thank you for that footnote. قال لهم شعيب ألا تتقون. Shu'aib said to them, not their brother, will you not be mindful? إني لكم رسول أمين. I am to you a messenger that is trustworthy. فاتقوا الله وأطيعون. So be mindful of God and obey me. وما أسألكم عليه من أجر إن أجري إلا على رب العالمين. And I do not ask for you for any payment. Indeed, my payment is except for the Lord of the Worlds. It's coming from the Lord of the Worlds. Yeah. Actually, this was kind of great. I was regretting going over the Lut verses for reasons we'll get into on the next time we get this chapter. But I guess avid viewers of this already know. This channel already know, aka Mr. Matar, you know why, my perspective. But this was great. This was fun. I was dreading reading this, and I was dragging my feet, and I was worried about it, but I wasn't. I'm grateful. We'll get to the next chapters when we get to the next chapters. Thank you for watching. As usual, we always on the Sadaqallah al-Ali al-Azim, and we will continue when we continue next. I'll upload when I can. I'm still figuring it out with work schedule. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Get out of here. Ma'as salama. Bye. Is there anyone on